Our class this morning will be given by His Grace Kaivalya Prabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam. Couple quick announcements. The Sankirtan event that was planned for this afternoon has been postponed to another date due to the rain. It's supposed to rain throughout the day, kind of a miserable day weather-wise. But in the temple, there will be preparations for Gaur Purnima, the festival, tomorrow. So anybody that wants to stay to help with flower decorations, cut up the vegetables from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, that will be going on. So that's for the people here as well as on Zoom. Please come and join us. Last thing I'll say is that for those in the temple room and those that have been visiting, this past week we've been getting the darshan of only of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. Where Shishi Radhashar Hari and Shishi Gornitai, they're getting some care, maintenance care. But they will give for darshan if we're so fortunate tomorrow for Gaur Purnima. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Rajana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivritakacharya Ashtottara Shishma Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anand Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Hare Gaur.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And we are reading today Canto 2, Chapter 7, and the verse number is 42. So let us just repeat after me. Esham sa esha bhagavana daya yeda anantaha.
Esham
Esham sa esha bhagavana daya yeda anantaha. Sarvatmana ashrita pado yadi nirvyalikam. Sarvatmana ashrita pado yadi nirvyalikam. Te dustaram atitaranti cha deva mayam. Te durastaram atitaranti cha deva mayam. Nesham mamahata iti di swashragala bhakshe. Te nesham mama hata iti di swashragala bhakshe. Okay, so I will read the whole shlok one time now. Yesham sa esha bhagavan dayaye dananta sarvatmana ashrita pado yadi nirvya likam te durashtaramati taranti cha deva mayam nesham mamaham iti dihi swakragala bhakshe. So I will read word to word translation. Yesham,
Yesham.
unto those only. Saha, the Lord. Esha, the Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Dayayed, does bestow his mercy. Anantaha, the unlimited potential. Sarva Atmana, by all means, without reservation. Ashrita Pado, surrendered soul. Yadi, if such surrender, nirvyalikam, without pretension. Te, those only. Dustaram, insurmountable. Atitaranti, can overcome. Cha, in the paraphernalia. Devamayam, diverse energies of the Lord. Na, not. Devamayam, diverse energies of the Lord. Na, not. Esham, of them. Mama, mine. Aham, myself. Iti, thus. Dihi, conscious. Swa, dogs. Ragala, jackals. Bhakshe, in the matter of eating. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By anyone who is specifically, but anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, due to unenlightened surrender unto the service of the Lord, can overcome the insurmountable ocean of illusion and can understand the Lord. But those who are attached to this body, which is meant to be eaten at the end by the dogs and jackals, cannot do so. Purport. The unallied devotees of the Lord know the glories of the Lord in the sense that they can understand how great the Lord is and how great is his expansion of diverse energy. Those who are attached to the perishable body can hardly enter into the realm of science of Godhead. The whole materialistic world, based on the conception of the material body as the self, is ignorant of science of God. The materialist is always busy working for the welfare of the material body, not only his own, but also those of his children, kinsmen, community, countrymen, etc. The materialists have many branches of philanthropic and altruistic activities from a political, national, and international angle of vision. But none of the field work can go beyond the jurisdiction of misconception of identifying the material body with the spirit soul, unless, therefore, one is saved from the wrong conception of the body and the soul, there is no knowledge of Godhead. And unless there is knowledge of Godhead, and knowledge of God, all advancement of material civilization, however dazzling, should be considered a failure. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। So, translation again, but anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord. So, Prabhupada is writing but in the beginning. So, that means, this shloka is related to the previous shloka. So, in the previous shloka yesterday, Shamla Mataji really explained very nicely about this shloka in 40 and 41, which says that no one can describe the Lord's greatness, how great Lord is actually. It is impossible to understand the greatness of Lord without his mercy. So we can understand the Lord only by his mercy. If we try to study ourselves, we can read Bhagavatam 10 times, 15 times, but still we will not understand until unless we have the mercy of the Supreme Lord and mercy of the Guru. So these two things are very important before we can understand the actual greatness of the Supreme Lord. So the 40th shlok says that even if one is able to count the atomic principle, so because scientists, all the time say that we can do this, we can do this, we can send rocket to the moon, things like that. And so Prabhupada is writing here, and Sukdev Goswami is describing in this sloka that even the scientist can count the particles, all the atoms of this whole universe, which is next to impossible. Nobody can count all the atoms, in this whole material world. But even if they count, they still cannot explain all the glories of the Lord. They cannot say that, because we can see the Lord, how great he is. When he came as Lord Vamandev, he extended his leg. So his one leg was on the ground, on the earth planet, and other leg was on the spiritual world. It touched the spiritual world, and actually by his nail of the great toe, it pierced the covering of the spiritual world. And that's why Ganges came in this world. So you can imagine, how many miles. So many, many, many miles. I have read somewhere or heard in some class that from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the Kamal Nal goes, the stem of the lotus flower goes, lotus. And that stem is 3 or 4 billion miles. So we can imagine from Earth planet, we can at least imagine it may be 2 billion miles. So how one can extend a leg 2 billion miles, it's very hard even to imagine, how somebody can extend the leg 2 billion miles when Krishna was only like maybe 10 feet high or 6 feet high, 8 feet high. I do not know how high he was, but at that time, at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, people, I heard like Arjun was 12 or 14 feet tall, the doors were very tall at that time. So that was the height of the people, from 12 feet, you are talking about 2 billion miles. So nobody can. It's very unimaginable that how. And in the next shloka yesterday we discussed that Ananta Shesh, who has the thousands of heads, and he is glorifying the Lord for time immemorial. Still, he could not finish the glories yet. And he will continue glorifying the Supreme Lord. So we can not imagine actually how many glories of the Supreme Lord. We know very tiny about Supreme Lord actually. And sometimes people think, oh, I know so much, I read Bhagavatam so many times, I read Bhagavad Gita, I read this, and I know so much, but actually we don't know anything. It's how great he is. So in today's slok is saying, but who can describe the Lord? Who can describe the Lord completely? Sorry. Oops. But anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, if Supreme Lord favors that particular devotee, then due to the unallied surrender of service of the Lord, and if that devotee does the unallied service, ananya bhakti, no conditional bhakti, all the time, satatam kirtayantoma, like that. If somebody is doing that, then he can overcome the insurmountable ocean of the illusion. So his illusions will be gone, and he can understand the Lord. So that kind of devotee, who is fully dedicated to Supreme Lord and does the bhakti uninterrupted, then he can understand Lord. But it's written, those who are attached to this body, many people in this material world, we all are attached to this body. They do not distinguish between soul and our body, and they think, this body It's separate, and I'm here to enjoy this material world. That's the mostly understanding of this material world and materialistic people. So those people, whose body, it said, which is their body, which is meant to eaten by the dogs and hogs. So at the end, the body will be eaten by the dogs and hogs. Yes, sometimes we burn on the body, but still, it just makes goes everywhere, and people who actually put the body under the ground, so people, dogs and hogs eat that, all the bugs and everything. So they cannot understand the Supreme Lord. So that's so only like devotees of the Lord knows the glories of the Lord, in the sense that they can understand how great the Lord is. At least they can imagine, they can think, and they will believe. Like we have the story of that leatherman and the Brahmana who was chanting all the mantras and taking bath 10 times a day, and one was the man, Chamar, the leatherman, who was making shoemaker. And he was also all the time repeating, but he was pure bhakta. Shoemaker was the pure bhakta. So when Narad Muni came and asked, and then he believed that I will get that Lord. He said the Lord was doing, putting the needle, the elephant through the hole of the needle, and that Brahman didn't believe because he was not pure bhakta, because Lord can do anything in this world, So why not? And that the shoemaker says that yes, my Supreme Lord can do anything. So that faith has to be there. Then only one can understand. So Brahmana never understood actually the greatness of the Lord. So since they can understand how great the Lord is and how great his expansions of diverse energies. So Lord has so many multifarious energies, and through those energies, all the work of this material world and spiritual world is done actually. Even Lord thinks, even he thinks inside his heart, that I should do this, immediately Yogmaya takes charge and try to finish. Lord need not to say anybody, like call somebody and say, do this, like that. Lord never says that. It's automatically done just by his ichcha, by his desire. Whenever Lord desires, even, that thing is done right away. He has so many energies. Yeah. So, but those who are attached to the perishable body can hardly enter the realm of science of God. But people who are attached to this body, they feel like comfort of this body, and they all the time think about this body. So those kind of people will never understand the Lord. Yeah, like we just had Ekadashi couple. When was Ekadashi? Yesterday or day before? Wednesday. So Ekadashi people think, because in this material world, people are so thinking, that let me enjoy even on Ekadashi. Then they had atta, which made of this singara and all those things. But we have tried that atta. You can make pizza for with this atta and samosa and kachori. What is the need of all these luxuries on Ekadashi day? Ekadashi day is for fasting and remembering the Lord, meditating on the Lord, And that atta 3-4 times I also bought it, and then later on I knew that there was some gluten or something, That's why you can make all those things, So now I don't trust him. It's better to just eat little potato kachori, and that's it, Even sago grains are not good, we eat a lot of sagos, sabudana, but that sabudana also, I saw the videos and heard that in the roots of sabudana, what happens? Those white bugs, long bugs, they crawl around, and they dry it and then make the flour from that, and those bugs are crushed. So
Good.
we are eating those bugs also with that. So it's not very pure. So we should try to avoid it. So many devotees don't eat. Yeah, even like I was with the Bhakti Rasamrata Maharaj in his yatra, and there was Ekadashi, and on Ekadashi day, he said, Maharaj, what you will take? And he said, I will just take milk. So, but with milk, he wanted some elaichi powder, cardamom powder, whole cardamom. So that host, didn't have the whole cardamom. So he had the powder. So Maharaj said, don't put the powder. He said, I don't believe in powder. He says cardamom powder, but they must have grind in the thing, where there was some wheat or something were grinded, So he said, I don't take any chance, So purely we should do Ekadashi rather than like doing this kind of thing that, okay, this is just nothing, And how many times we make pizza for Ekadashi, but we don't know how the cheese is. In the cheese, there may be rennet, Even the devotees use cheese, which has rennet many times, like in the Govindas and things like that. So we should just simply live on fruits, milk, and some potatoes, that's enough. Why we need all the luxuries on Ekadashi day? One day we can live without all those things, So that's why we should not be too much materialistic and thinking about the body that I will starve, one day. We can see Raghunath Das Goswami, he was eating only he was drinking only that buttermilk, for few ounces of buttermilk, that's it. And living a whole day and working so hard, doing Dandavat so many times. So we can live one day without that. So we should be little bit more austere rather than thinking too much of eating, especially on Ekadashi day or tomorrow we are having the fasting, So we should really fast and see how we can do. Those who are attached to the perishable body can hardly enter the realm of science of God. The whole materialistic world, based on the conception of material body, is the self. Everybody in the material world thinks that I am this body. That's what they think. They don't think about the soul. If they think about the soul, and then they have to know that what is my duty as a soul, to be Jivere Sorupa Krishna Nityadas. They don't want to think about that I'm Das. Nobody wants to be servant. Everybody wants to be big boss in this material world. So this is the big problem. And they are not taking care of their own body, but the body of their children, body of their wife, body of all the family member, extended family, body of the kingsmen, countrymen, and community men, so many things, extended, everything. And they take care of all those things, but not of their soul, that's the materialistic problem. The materialists have many branches of philanthropic, holistic activities, political, national, and international angle. But none of the field can go beyond the jurisdiction or misconception of identifying the material bodies. So one has to actually identify the body from the soul. Then only one can be in the Krishna consciousness. So that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually told Arjuna, that you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. So he showed the distinction. So this is the first teaching in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one is saved from the wrong conception of the body and the soul. There is no knowledge of Godhead unless there is knowledge of Godhead. So knowledge of Godhead actually is very important in our life. People think, that, oh, I can get knowledge myself. They cannot get it. They have to have the Guru's kripa, the blessing of Guru. Otherwise, we will not understand. And if there is no knowledge of the Lord, Supreme Lord, or spiritual knowledge, somebody doesn't have knowledge, but that means he is in the darkness. And in the darkness, Krishna cannot come. Because Krishna comes, Krishna is like a sunshine, and it dissipates all the darkness of our heart. So it's very important that we have the proper knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and then we can know about Krishna and progress in our bhakti. So we are actually discussing this shloka, is being spoken by Brahmaji actually, and he is discussing with Narad Muni. And Brahmaji is telling this shloka. And Sukdev Goswami is quoting from the Brahmaji's conversation, Brahmaji and Narad Muni's conversation. So he's saying how much powers Lord Vishnu has. So scientist and anybody who has the materialistic mind, they can never imagine the mind. So Sridhar Swami's commentary says about these words, it says that no one can completely describe what Brahma has described in brief. What Brahmaji discussed with Narad Muni, that cannot be described by any materialistic people. Brahma himself, cannot even count. Brahma, Shiva, they even cannot count how much the glories of the Lord, how great he is. Even Brahmaji himself got bewildered, and he was running behind his own daughter. So we can imagine, the Brahmaji cannot. He's still, so he's under illusory potency of the Lord. We all are under illusory potency of Lord. And Lord takes away those illusory those illusory potency only when we get his mercy. Then that illusion goes away, then we can know the proper knowledge. So in today's verse says that anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, due to unallied service, somebody does unallied service, not asking anything to the Lord, that please do this to me, do this, give me this, give me this. Lord is not our order supplier. We have to understand that. And if we do the unallied service only, and continuously continue that service all the time in all circumstances, where we are happy and unhappy, any condition, we have to continue our unallied service to the Lord. Then we can overcome with these material things, and then we can actually understand the Lord. So a pure devotee actually can know the Lord's glories. It's no problem. Many devotees knew, who were like Amrish Maharaj or Yudhishthir Maharaj, they were so great devotees. They knew all Prahlad Maharaj, they knew all the glories of the Lord. Yeah, next couple of shloka, we will read the names of the devotees who knew all the glories of the Lord, who knew everything about the Lord. But they have to have very open heart, very soft heart, and pure bhakti in the heart. Those people can know the Lord. The materialistic attached to the bodies that will inevitably perish, those people are in the illusion and they will never understand the Lord. So Prabhupada, in the purport of this shlok, he says awareness of the Krishna is greatness, and attachment to body is quite opposite to that. So we should not be attached to the body, and if we have attachment, whole glories. So this same shloka actually, if you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, and in the Madhya Lila, this same shloka is given in Madhya Lila, chapter 6, and text number 235. And Prabhupada is writing little different purport of this shloka. So I will read that. When a person takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead without reservation, the unlimited, merciful Lord bestows his causeless mercy upon him. So this is very important, that Lord's mercy will definitely come once we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's why all the gurus and acharyas tells us, that we have to hold lotus feet of Lord very tightly in our heart. Until unless we do that, we don't understand the glories of the lotus feet of Lord, how important it is. Then, so we have to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. But without that, nothing can happen. Then only merciful Lord will bestow causeless mercy upon us. Thus, that devotee can pass over the insurmountable ocean of the innocence. So those people who are intelligent, they can fix their mind on the Supreme Lord and can know about the Lord. If somebody is thinking, I am this body, so those are food for the jackals and dogs. That's what Prabhupada is writing. The Supreme Lord never bestows his mercy upon such people. People who are materialistic, they will never get mercy of Supreme Lord. So Krishna very clearly says in Bhagavad Gita 1866, which is the most important shloka, most guhya knowledge that sarva dharmam paritejya mam ekam sharanam vaja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayasami ma sucha. So he's saying, abandon all variety of religion and just surrender unto me. So surrendering to Lord and forget about all these different dharmas. Because there are so many dharmas in this. Dharma for society, dharma for the family, dharma for this, dharma for father, dharma for mother. So many dharma. Do this pindadan, do this thing, for this. So he said, a devotee need not to do all those things, he can just concentrate on his bhakti continuously and hold the lotus feet of the Lord. Then Krishna is promising that I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this is very important actually, that one should not fear about these things, because Krishna is saying that be fearless completely. And this is Krishna's promise. And we should actually have full faith in Krishna. So Krishna actually bestows his causeless mercy to the Arjuna, we can see. And that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says about, in the beginning he said, Dehino asmina dehi yatha, Dehino asmin yatha dehe kumaram yavanam jara. So he's saying that like we get from childhood to youth to older age, and then we die, and like that, So we also change the body after that and get the new. So our soul continues, So we never take birth actually, and we never die. But this is just the body takes a birth and body dies actually, that we have to understand. In this body, there is an owner. Who is the owner of the body? The soul. Soul is the real owner. And one should not consider the body to be the self. Never ever we should think that I am this body, because then whole conception changes actually. So this is first instruction. Actually, devotee should get it, like Arjuna got this from the Lord of Krishna. So if one under the bodily concept, unable to realize his true identity, engage in the loving devotional service of the Lord, so that way he can do his transcendental, then he is in transcendental position actually. Otherwise, he is not in transcendental position. And in Bhagavad Gita 7:14 says, Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. So those people, who are continuously in devotional service, they can come out of the Maya. It's very easy if somebody surrenders completely and stays. Because Mayavadi actually thinks, that I'm doing austerities and now I got some knowledge and I'm going to be liberated. They think, but actually they are not liberated souls. Many Mayavadis think, that I'm completely liberated from this material world, but they are not. They are actually deep into problems, and they have to come out of that. Otherwise, they cannot get the love of God. Mayavadis never get love of God, because they can, all the karma can go away. That's fine, but otherwise, they cannot get any progress in the bhakti. So actually, the living entity in this material world is very strongly. We all are bound by the ropes. Which are the ropes? The three modes of material nature. As soon as we are born, these three modes of material nature actually affects us very badly. And according to our karma in the past life, it affects us. Somebody may be in Tamogun, somebody may be in the Rajogun, somebody may be in Sattvagun. So these modes all the time affects, and this material world, people think, because we as a devotees, we read in Bhagavatam, how many times we read Narayana Parayana. That's like we should be going to Narayana, and think about him. But people in this material world, they are not Narayana Parayana, but opposite to that, they are Kama Bhoga Parayana. They are completely taking shelter of Kama, which is the lust, and Bhoga, which is the enjoyment of this material world. So Kama and Bhoga, these two things, people think about. And now in the Kali Yuga, slowly people are becoming so much demoniac. And that's what's going on actually. And what is the duty of our spirit soul? If you think we are a spirit soul, then what is the duty of the spirit soul? Just to serve the Lord, Supreme Lord. But the karmis are completely ignorant of that. They never think that I am so they are not completely out of reality actually. What is the reality? What is the real dharma? They are completely out of that thing, They just think that I'm here for this enjoyment. Many people think, you beg, borrow, whatever, you do, but enjoy your life. Because they say, who have seen the life after the death? Many people think that way, that you are in the material world, just enjoy as much as you can. Yes, so this is the formula of the karmis. But actually, if you think deeply, this place is not for enjoyment. This place, material world, is for austerities and penances and do the bhakti for the Supreme Lord. Because we have to see in this material world, we have much more pain than enjoyment. We get little enjoyment and then pain for a long time. So that is the reality. People don't understand that. They get little happiness and they think, oh my God, I'm great now. So that thing should not be there. Yeah. Because after pleasure, pain will come. It's a cycle course, Sometimes you are good for 2-3 years, no problems, but then problem starts, goes on for few years. So that is the thing. So actually we are wasting our time and we are actually literally blowing out our good future, good karma. Yeah, we are doing bad karma now, and in the future, many lifetime, we will get the suffering, if we enjoy too much. So actually we are blowing out all the good karmas like that by enjoying. Sometimes karmas you see, sometimes they do austerity and all those things, some people, make the hospitals, give some donation to the poor, give some clothes, some blankets, they will distribute to the poor, So that way they want to collect some punya karma. But what happens with punya karma? They actually they get down after thousands and thousands of years enjoying in the Swargalok, they have to come back here again. Shine Punne Marti Lokam Vishanti. So ultimately they will exhaust all their punya karma and come back here. So actually, if we see and think deeply, we will know that this sense of gratification in this material world, which everyone is doing, is not good either materially also it's not good, or spiritually. Either way, it's not good. Actually, people who are karmis, they are fully under the conception of the bodily conception, actually. Yeah. So they think this body is all in all. Even the jnanis, karmis, everybody, they cannot understand, what is the real dharma. Karmis and jnanis, if karmis give the results of their karma to the Lord, like karma yoga, then that's good. But otherwise, they will never progress. Karmis and jnani, if they want, they can progress to bhakti slowly. Because jnani, getting knowledge, but if they don't do devotional service, just knowledge is no good at all. So actually, that's why Narottam Das Thakur says, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Kevala Vishera Bhanda. It's just part of poison. So actually, if you do Karma Kandi or Jnana Kanda, it's just like you are drinking poison. So what is the sense, So they are condemned to remain in material world, life after life, they cannot go anywhere until unless they take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, which is very important. And Srimad Bhagavatam actually, Bhagavad Gita actually confirms this. Bahu nam janmanam ante jnanamam vam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births, those people, who just enjoy. After many births, if they actually come in the knowledge and surrender to the Supreme Lord, then who is the cause of all the causes? That kind of souls are very rare. If somebody starts enjoying, they keep enjoying. Next life, and keep taking birth after birth again and die. So once you go in the vicious cycle, there's no end to it. So people who do good karma in this material world, punya karma. So sometimes people do punya karma. Okay, by punya karma, I will get punya, then I will enjoy with apsaras, Sura and Sundari, the drink and the beautiful ladies. I will enjoy thousands and thousands of years. That's very good for me. So that's what people do. But there is drawback that they have to come back. But what is another drawback? Actually, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 500 years predicted that this golden age actually what we are in. And he said that this Krishna conscious movement will be going on strongly for 10,000 years. After that, people will keep downhill. So if somebody now does punya karma, goes to Swarga and lives there for thousands of years, and then comes back, then this golden yuga will be gone. So there is no sense. Then it will be very hard for him. Now it's easy for us because Srila Prabhupada just came, and this Krishna conscious movement is spreading like wildfire actually all over the world. So we can imagine, that we are in good time, and we must have done something good to be following Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, Prabhupada is pure devotee, and Krishna actually sent him from the spiritual world to this material world, for all of us. And we should read his books and see how we can help spread his movement. Prabhupada will be very happy. Other thing, so we should do actually some kind of like some like a kind of repentation also, and some devotional service. And we should know about the Supreme Lord. So we should read, of course, hear the lectures of Prabhupada, read his books, and actually we should do some devotional service in the temple or wherever we can do in our home temple. Or if somebody cannot come to temple, can make a temple in the home, but service should be there, devotional service should be there. And also, we did so many bad things before joining the Krishna consciousness movement. So we should repent always that how bad things I did in the past. And we should ask an excuse from Lord that please forgive me, that I did horrible things before. So far I have did horrible things, and I will not do it again. So we should not repeat those same mistakes what we were doing before. And actually, Krishna has given us forgetfulness. That's the way many bad things, what we imagined, what we did in the past, we forgot all those things. Many things we have forgotten. So Krishna is saying, Sarvadharmam Paritejya Mamekam Sharanam Bhajaso. Just get under the shelter of the Krishna. And Krishna is saying, I personally will deliver you all the things, whatever you did. And Mahasucha, he said, don't worry. So Krishna actually saying that even we make little progress in the bhakti, then it will really make us not worry about our future. Krishna will take care of all our pains actually. So he said, Neha Vikramnasho asti prativayu na vidyate solvam apicha dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. So if we are in Krishna consciousness and working for Lord, then there is no loss or any adverse results. Even the little effort can save one from the great danger. And what is the great danger? Of this coming back cycle of birth and death, Everybody is worried about the death, because in death there is so much pain. And it is said that when the Yamdut comes, if we are not bhakta, if we are karmis, Yamdut comes and takes away our soul from our body. They actually try to take it out. And then there is so much pain. It is described in the Padma Purana that it is like scorpions, 1,000 scorpions, 10,000 scorpions are biting at one point. So even one scorpion, one time he bites, so much pain. And people have seen, who lives in the small huts and things like that in jungle, they have seen how bad it is, So if 10,000 scorpion bite somebody, suddenly, what will happen? So Krishna is so merciful to his devotees actually, and we can see that in Bhagavatam with the story of Amrish Maharaj, that Durvasa Muni came and Amrish Maharaj drank some water just to break his Ekadashi, and he got so angry and he plucked his hair and put it on the floor ground, and then Rakshas came, and the Rakshas was running behind him, but Parikshit Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj was sitting and just meditating on the Supreme Lord. And then Lord Vishnu actually sent his chakra against that demon and kill that demon. And then Chakra was running behind Durvasa Muni and giving him so much heat in the back, just that he will get burned with this disc of Lord Vishnu. And then Durvasa Muni was running here and there. He went to Lord Shiva, Brahma, everybody, nobody can protect him. And ultimately, he went to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu also told that I cannot help it because you actually offended a pure Vaishnava, pure Bhakta, and I'm under the control of my Bhakta. I cannot do, you have to go to Amrish Maharaj and beg pardon from him. So to Durvasa Muni, Lord Vishnu is saying, Sadhavo Hardayam Mayam Sadhunam Hardayam Tvam Mad Antaste Na Jananti Naham Tebhyo Managatim. So he says the Sadhu Hardayam Mayam. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart. And also Sadhunam Hardayam Tvam. So, and also I am always in the heart of the sadhus, pure devotees. And the devotees do not know anything but me. And I also do not know anything except my devotees. So how merciful is Lord Krishna? And we can see that Krishna is so merciful, if we actually do the pure bhakti, then our future is so bright. And the other shloka we can see in the Bhagavad Gita also, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paripasate Teisham Nityabhiyukta Nam Yogakshema Vahamyam. Krishna is promising that I take care of Yogakshema. I will take care whatever you lack, I will provide that. And whatever is you have, I will preserve that. So Krishna is taking care of everything, we should just have faith in his words. Then Krishna will take care of us. We should not worry that, oh, if I don't do this, how I will survive and all those things. Krishna is providing food to ant, to the elephant also, elephant eats 2 tons of grains, and who provides that? And we can read in the purpose of Bhagavatam, that Timangala fish, which is few miles, many, many miles long, how much food she may need, but Krishna is providing her too. So we can see, Krishna is fulfilling everyone's needs, So why he will not give us the food? Yeah, we will get our food. It's no problem actually, but we have to have faith in Krishna. So we should have complete surrender unto Krishna. We should have like Sharanagati, whatever. We should actually all the time remember Krishna and not do anything which is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. We should do that. And we should know and understand Krishna in truth. That's why Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam yom veti tatvata taktva deham punar janma netimavati. So Arjuna. So Krishna is saying that you have to know me in truth, not just superficially. And we can know by his mercy and mercy of the Guru only. So we should, in that way, if you think, that the karmis people and Mayavadi, they have no chance to understand Krishna, and they will never know about the birth of Lord's appearance and lots of activities, the Leelas, they don't glorify that. And we should know actually how many energies Lord Krishna has and how this material world goes. So this material world is very good place to the bhakti, but many times people say, oh, I have this problem, that problem. Actually, we should not worry about the problem. Many times we think that let this thing pass, then I will start my bhakti. But that time will never come. That's why when Prabhupada met to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's Guru Maharaj, and he said that let us get free, independent country, then we can do more bhakti, Prabhupada. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said that no, you don't wait for those things, These are all material things. We should just start bhakti at even under many, many problems, we can still do bhakti if we really want to. So Krishna says in Bhagavatam, Sravanam Shranavata Swakata Krishna Punya Savana Kirtana Hardyantasto hi abadrani vidanoti swahatsata. So actually, if we keep hearing about Supreme Lord, his bhajan, his kirtan, if we keep hearing, then Lord will actually, he will clean our heart completely. Like we put our cloth in the washer, and put the button, then what happens? It just cleans up so nicely. the same way Krishna does. If we keep hearing, the hearing has so much potency that it will really clean our heart from inside out, and then we will be in the good shape actually. So in this material world, actually, we should not get too much enjoyment, learn more and more about the personality of Godhead, actually. Because in this material world, there is no knowledge of God. When we take the shelter of Guru, then only knowledge starts. Because people are so bad. Even in Bhagavatam, we can read King Yayati. King Yayati was enjoying so many years with, with Sharmishta and Devayani, and he had so many children also. But then, by some curse, he got old. He suddenly got very old, but he still has so many desires to enjoy. And then, how shamelessly he was asking his sons that you give me your youth and you become old. It's very shameless work. How a father can ask his son that let me enjoy and you become old. Yeah, but see, people degrade so much, just for enjoyment. So our duty is to actually give knowledge of the Lord to other people in this material world and to devotees also. And Krishna is saying that devotee is very dear to me, who actually spreads the glories, my glories, and gives knowledge to other people and make them Krishna conscious. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the text 1866, he says, Ya idam paramam guyam mad bhakteshva abhidhyasyati bhakti mai param kratva mam evashyasi asanshayah. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. So Krishna is giving complete guarantee that you do as much as spread Krishna's words, not just keeping knowledge yourself, give your knowledge to give your knowledge to the other people, and then you will be guaranteed devotional service. And at the end, Krishna says, you will definitely come to me. So this is Krishna's guarantee, and we should completely have faith in Krishna's guarantee. Yeah, and then we can actually do our bhakti properly. Otherwise, it's very hard. This material world is a bad place if we don't do the bhakti, because there is so many allurements, all the billboards and everywhere we see, it just drags us down like water. When water only can go down, it will never go up. When we pour the water, it goes down only. Similarly, our consciousness also in this material world only goes down. Yeah, so if we will degrade, we will never come until unless we come to Krishna consciousness, take shelter of a guru and serve him properly, because Guru's mercy is very important. And only through Guru's mercy we can get Krishna's mercy. So these two mercies both we need in our life, and we should try to get as much as possible those mercy, and then we can success our life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions we can discuss now? Hare Bol. Yes.
Thank you for a very nice class. As you were talking, it made me realize that this world is very bleak, and the outcome of those that are trying to enjoy in this world is very, very sad.
Sure.
The verse it says, the bodies will simply just get eaten by dogs and jackals, and they become attached to this, and we'll never get to know the Supreme Lord. But that is the condition of like 99% of this
People population.
99.9% of this world. So the forecast, the outlook is not very, very good. And then you were speaking at the end about how gaining the knowledge for ourselves isn't good enough, and we have to start with ourselves. But going out and preaching the message, and it made me realize just why devotees are so dear to Krishna that go out and preach, because they're making a sacrifice And it's a sacrifice because most of the people, they don't want to know about Krishna. They're going to
Yeah.
yell at you, get away from me, why are you disturbing me?
That's true.
And you take, it'd be much easier just to sit in peace and offer an arti or do some bhajans or something like that. But making so many arrangements just to try to attract souls away from the material energy into Krishna consciousness. It just made me realize why the preaching service is so important and how to really attract Krishna's mercy when we extend ourselves to try to help others. Krishna will help us.
Yeah, it's percentage wise, if you see, very few people are in Krishna consciousness, but it's Krishna will make them slowly. No, because they will first get a lot of kicks, this material world, then they will realize, they will take birth after birth after birth, and then Kali Yuga people will be so degraded, like father is eating, mother is eating her own kid, that's what going to happen. It's described in Shastras. So if that thing happens, like in animals, you can see the cat gets very hungry, she eats her own kitten, so that's what is happening. So, and that will happen to humans also at one point, when the food will be scarce, because people will do too many karmas, and that's what going to happen, it's not Krishna's mistake, it's our own deeds. People will get that. And so later on, after getting all the kicks, kick after kick, people will understand that this is the only taking shelter of the Lord is the only solution to this problem. Then they will come, but it will take many births. But slowly, that's a good thing that Srila Prabhupada came and Krishna sends a representative time after time, and he's so merciful to all of us. He sends Srila Prabhupada. Now Prabhupada's movement is really in many countries actually. You see people are, in India, so many people are coming to temples. Before they were not coming. Before COVID, they were not coming. But now all the temples are so much crowded. Yeah. And at least they are coming to the Lord, and slowly their intelligence will get purified, and ultimately they will start coming. Yeah, it may take time, but Krishna will give them the intelligence. Anybody else?
Your comment about Ekadasi food was very relevant. We also experienced the same at our home, that the Ferrari atta.
Yeah.
It looks very salutant.
Right.
Follow your what you say.
It happened 3-4 times, In the devotees made that atta. How they can make this kind of mistake? Yeah, so it's all business, in this material world. Many times, people write down it's organic, and many times, who sees, organic milk, Now to the cows, they can feed things, because they want their profit, So they may be feeding something, which cows can give more milk, So it's very hard to say. And government cannot go and check. They check one time, or once a year, but in between, nobody checks, They can give hormone. Yeah, so they can give more milk, Yeah, because everybody wants their profit margin more and more, because everybody is so much greedy in this material world. So till we are not caught, we can still put the level of organic, So it's very hard, When devotees can cheat, then what we can say? Who made that kind of Ekadashi atta? So we have to be careful what we should eat on Ekadashi. Yeah. Anybody from the
Anyone has any question from Zoom? Okay.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the nice class. Thank you very much.
all right. Yeah. One.
Namo Namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.